Electricast.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
The kids are still at practice, and I have no idea what's for dinner.
You can get a rotisserie chicken and 2 sides for just $15 in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Who said that? Who's in my house? Don't play with me, because I'm not the one.
It's just your friendly Walmart announcer. This is a commercial.
Oh, okay. You were saying dinner for a family was just $15?
Yep, it'll be at your door by the time you get the kids home from practice. Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Subject to availability, restrictions and fees apply.
Now that was a helpful commercial.
Welcome to Missing the Point, everybody. I'm DK Sizzle, and we're doing the Power Rankings again. We're recording it on a Wednesday again. And last week, we were lamenting about how nobody wanted to be on the show. This week, everybody wants to be on the fucking show. We're super popular. We're the prettiest girl at the prom, or at least the one who gives it up the easiest. Welcome into the Power Rankings show here on Missing the Point. I have with me Real BK Bob Kelly. As per usual, the man who makes the Power Rankings, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health. He actually was sick last week, and he still made them. So that's nice. Or 2 weeks ago, maybe. Glad you're feeling better. I have Hollywood Ray Buchanan, who you guys don't know this, but I've actually spent the last hour with him already doing a basketball show. But we're switching gears, and this is the movie Magic. So we're talking about football this week, and that's really all that matters now, Ray. So just try to switch over, okay? Try to fucking keep up, dude. Jeez. And we also have Broadway Joe Malkin here all the way from the East Coast, where we're relatively near where we talk about teams. So that's helpful. It's nice to have at least one person like really, embedded in the middle of Massachusetts, not necessarily big city boys like the rest of us. So we're here. We have all sides. We have all perspectives. And what I want to do before we jump right in to the Power Rankings, Bobby and I had a little chat before we started. And I think it's time to start doing some cross-offs. It's time to call dead on arrival, time of death, on a few seasons this calendar, this NFL year. So it might shock you, my first cross-off, and I'll let whoever wants to jump in, but I think it's time to declare the Super Bowl champion LA Rams dead. They've won 3 games, and they don't look great. Is anyone going to advocate for the LA Rams?
Nope. Cup just went down. They literally have no running game. And Matthew Stafford has looked like an absolute shell of himself. I guarantee you McVay regrets coming, but he should have taken that media deal, bro. What is he doing?
I feel like Matt Stafford looked like what I thought he was going to look like, but he did have a hell of a year last year. You can't take that away from him.
It just took a year.
Yeah. But, I mean, he won a Super Bowl that year, so I can't, But all he was doing is throwing a fucking Cooper Kupp. I don't know what he does now. I don't know what that team does. That division, like Arizona could potentially still win games. San Francisco, 5-4. Seattle, better than we thought. Probably fucking up our prediction show stuff, but is anyone going to try and talk me out of the LA Rams? Can they win this division? Because I don't think they can.
No, they're definitely not going to win the division. I mean, they'll win a few more games, I think, just on, maybe because of circumstance. But yeah, no, they are not a good team right now. And they're a classic example of just going all in. And they, ironically, because they're in the same city as them, they had basically been the LA Dodgers of, the NFL. So just trying to get all, the great players they can on the team. And they've been to the Super Bowl and lost. And, so that's essentially what's going on there. And, shout out to Leslie for saying fuck them picks. I totally agree. But in the same breath, due to them going all in, they literally have not had a chance to put together a roster that could still withstand any injury. So when you lose Cup, and obviously, like I said, lack of a running game, like Bobby mentioned, it was a doom for disaster. And that's essentially what happened. So yeah, there shouldn't be anyone talking to you outside of LA, where you're currently at.
No one likes the Rams there, anyways.
Yeah,
they like whoever's winning here in Los Angeles. Let's be honest.
Gotcha.
It's that kind of town. But listen, unless they're transplants like myself, and then you like who you like. But listen, I think we're crossing them off. And since the Power Ranking show, we usually just talk about who the 10 best teams are, I think it might be a while until we talk about the LA Rams again. I think it might be quite a while. Because like you said, they didn't really set themselves up for a rebuild. They got the ring, though, and you got to be happy with that. Another cross-off, if anybody wants to disagree with me, I know that Joe and Bobby were hot on these guys at the start of the season, but I would probably call time of death on the New Orleans Saints. What do you guys think?
No,
Right.
I don't. I think Tom Brady is a shell of himself right now, and until proven otherwise, I think the division is open. I think the Falcons are better than we thought they were. The Panthers.
It's an interesting time to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We will get to them a little bit later, but it's an interesting time considering they look like they're on the upswing.
They do look like they're on the upswing.
And now that divorce is finalized, he's driving his car pretty fast. That's all I'm saying.
That's what they say anyway. I think the Panthers are dead in the water, but I think the Saints have an opportunity. They still have a good team. They're still dynamic. I won't talk you into either one of their quarterbacks. I won't even talk you into their head coach, but I don't think they're dead yet.
Never a good sign when you're saying either one of their quarterbacks. All right, we had an objection, so we will not cross the Saints off just yet. I'm not going to cross Carolina off just yet because, honestly, looking at that division, like
that whole division can't be
it's still sort of anybody's game, and like you could then cross the line off. So let's leave the South alone. Let's leave the NFC South alone for now. I would like to cross the Saints off just because I did tell you guys that they're going to be bad, but it's fine. I don't think anyone in the NFC East can get crossed off. Yeah, no. I think that the Washington Commanders, I think that just by merit of their performance that this week they stay in, and they're at 500. So you can go anywhere from 500. You can go anywhere from 5-5. I'm not saying they're going to be good.
The last place team in the NFC East would be in first in 2 divisions.
Yeah. So fair enough. We're not crossing them off. Now, this is gonna hurt me, but I will be the one. I will be the one objection to this. So it doesn't matter. They're not getting crossed off. You can't cross the Bears off with how Justin Fields has been playing. Just can't do it. I mean, we've lost so many one-score games. We've lost games because of the referees. Justin Fields is the number one quarterback in fantasy football right now. He's playing absolutely fucking out of his mind. Is anyone going to try and cross the Bears off? That'd be crazy.
I almost put Justin Fields on the top 10 by himself.
They'll be in this, though. They'll be in it.
I mean, they've lost 3 in a row. They got smoked by the Cowboys. 1-score games against the Dolphins and the Lions. That Lions game,
but the two teams above them, the 2 teams above them are 3-6. They're 3-7. The Lions are 3-6, and the Packers are 4-6. So
I think the Packers are going to implode. So I think the Bears could very well.
Have they not already imploded? This is not already.
I don't think you can say they've imploded at 4-6. I mean, I think if they drop the next few games, then yeah, we can have that conversation about the Packers. But no, I won't cross the Bears off. You got to hold them to the Aaron Rodgers standard, though, don't you? Like, everybody always fucking, at this point, is blowing Aaron Rodgers at any given fucking opportunity. I don't know if he has a standard, so I don't know if I want to call it an Aaron Rodgers standard.
All right, we're not crossing anybody off in the NFC North. That's good. That's a relief. All right, so far we've only crossed off the LA Rams. It's the only cross-off so far. So that's good. The NFC sort of survived. I don't think we can cross off the Patriots as much as a lot of. Really
I just want you to know, Dave, you mentioned the Patriots first. It took 7 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yeah, you're right. That's a first for you. So I'm really glad it happened. Yep. So I don't think we can cross them off yet. I think
no, they're technically in the playoffs.
They have a winning record. They have teams above them. They're all really good, so they could still potentially come in last. But we're not crossing them off yet. Ooh, are we crossing the Steelers off? They don't look great.
Yes. Steelers are cross off.
I think the Ravens are going to be flying, and I think the Bengals are going to be much better when Jamar Chase comes back in a week. Yeah, you can cross the Steelers off.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to. Sorry, babe. Cleveland, we got to wait for Deshaun to come back. Like, as much as he's a piece of shit, we got to wait for that, right? Before we
I don't think so.
Official, we're going to cross. We're going to cross off 2 teams.
You can't cross them off yet just because of what the rest of the AFC looks like. Like right now, the Pats are the last playoff team. The Chargers are right there. And none of those guys have looked amazing so far this year, right?
I don't see the Steelers like actually making a run, but there is sort of that X factor for the Browns at least that you can wait for. So I don't think we should cross them off yet.
I think the Steelers are more dynamic than the Browns. I think the Steelers have more upside and a higher ceiling.
All right, we don't have to cross the Steelers off if you don't want to.
I don't know. I'm kind of talking myself out of it because I'm thinking of the way Pickens and Pickett have been playing.
Kenny Pickett. He doesn't look great.
He hasn't looked great, but he's
super young. And he just started. You're right. The Steelers have been saved. They've been saved. Good job, Joe.
Damn it, Joe.
Uncrossed.
I'll cross the Browns off.
we're not even having a conversation about crossing off the Houston Texans because they're crossed off. They've been crossed off.
They're already out. Yeah, they're already out.
Look, I love Lubby. Don't get me wrong, but they're gone. Jacksonville, anyone?
No.
They've looked okay in their losses. Another team that's looked okay in their losses. We're not totally out on the QB yet. Let's give it a beat. That division
we'll give it another 2 weeks.
Still a little bit up for grabs. Yep. And then I'm sorry, but the Las Vegas. Somebody talked me out of crossing them.
No, they're out. They're gone. They're done. They're crossed out, bro. They're double crossed out. Listen. So I said this.
No, Josh McDaniels should be here Friday night.
I said this in the chat the other day.
He won't be though because Mark Davis gave him a vote of confidence yesterday. He's staying.
That's always a good sign. Yeah, it's always a good sign. Derek Carr last year had his wide receiver kill someone, go to jail. Had his coach be a racist. Had another guy point a gun at someone. All this turmoil and led that team to the goddamn playoffs. This year he has Josh McDaniels as a coach for 9 years and ends up crying at the podium. Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I don't know if I'm gonna really, do a huge charity.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't cry at school. Come on, go home. Cry in your car. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, be an adult. Cry in your car.
Fucking hell.
Cry into a pillow.
It's nothing fucking sacred anymore. All right. I think that's all the cross us, unless somebody wants to put a bullet in Ray's Russell Wilson dreams once and for all.
Can I give one?
Oh, hey, no, hey, wait, hold on. Let me.
Let me give one more. I think I have to cross off. You guys can disagree with me if you want. I've said this at the beginning of the season, the goddamn Arizona Cardinals are one of the worst coached and worst executing teams I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
I'm with that.
Bobby, I give
they're
you
not going to the playoffs. That team is not going.
They're one win back from San Francisco. You can't cross them off yet.
Yeah, by your own argument you give about the Chargers.
Bobby, by your own standard, you can't cross them off yet. It's just, I'm sure you'll be proved right, but you just got to wait a couple more weeks. Ray, just run.
Cliff Kingsbury is the worst fucking coach I've ever seen.
Yeah,
besides
Ray, just are we crossing off the Broncos or what are we doing?
Oh, for sure. And I owe you an apology. For those that listen to the show, I thought that Russell Wilson was going to be something good to come to the franchise.
Bro, I forgot about that.
And
we had a whole argument about it.
They was I don't fucking know. I just don't think he's gonna be that good. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was right. And so Russ.
He just gave me the ick, Just gave me the ick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally get it. I mean, when you're getting outplayed by fucking Geno Smith, it's a tough scene.
Or is that just credit to Pete Carroll, which we'll get to?
Yeah, but tough scene for Russell Wilson. Their season is case closed. It's over.
I'd be good if everyone, if the group is good to cross off the Denver Broncos, I'd be good because honestly, the other two teams in their division are the Chargers and the Chiefs, and I just don't see either Denver or Las Vegas catching them up. That would be the only division where we cross off two teams.
Chargers and two.
Chargers could be
all
5 and 4 though. They ain't going nowhere.
I would make an argument. I would make an argument, Bobby. Though Nathaniel Hackett is a worse coach than Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay, yeah, it's close. It's close there. The Broncos are the best defense statistically in the entire league. However, they are scoring. I've never seen.
That's how bad Russell Wilson is.
They are scoring a meager 14.5 points per game. Have you ever seen a team average only 14 points a game?
Not with Russell Wilson at quarterback.
Remember the end of that the Tebow Broncos? I feel like they weren't putting up a ton of points.
Yeah, but they kept winning, and this team ain't winning.
Sure.
And that's why Jeff Saturday was named head coach over John Fox of the Indianapolis Colts.
I cross off the Broncos.
I don't mind not hiring John Fox. That guy fucking sucks.
That's what I'm talking about.
I would hire a guy agree than him, to be honest with you. But
I feel like
the worst offense I've ever seen.
I feel like any former Chicago Bears coach, you're just avoid at this point.
I love Lovie Smith.
Fair.
He's woefully underrated.
But he's crossed off. So
he's not crossed off. The literal worst.
The Texans are crossed off.
Hold on a second. The worst possible situation in the history of football that he walked into. You do not fucking besmirch Lovie Smith's name for taking a bullet for the city of fucking Houston.
My bad.
There was not a man alive that could have turned that fucking team around.
He's also jacked and has a magnificent beard.
That beard is fantastic. It's fantastic.
I love that guy. I'll always love that guy.
That little gray strip, I love it.
He also just looks calm. He always looks calm. He always half the time he looks like he doesn't even know that he's coaching a football game, but he's like, those wheels are turning. He's like, how did I get here? Oh, I guess I'll fucking coach some games. And he built the best fucking defense I've ever seen. So I love the man. But wow, all right, we crossed off 2 teams in one little foursome. That's crazy. All right, let's get on to the power rankings. Those cross-offs are brutal. I feel like we were relatively nice about it, though. You know, it could have been worse. There could have been some Chicago Bears getting crossed off action where I would have had to just set myself on fire. So, although you know, a good draft pick goes along.
Can I make a pitch about the Bears? I feel
like you're gonna anyway. So
I am. So I feel like you almost want the Bears to be crossed off, but at the same time, we can't at this point, because I would put Justin Fields in the goddamn top 10 by himself. So it's like, this is literally the best case scenario for you, because you're like, oh, we have hope. You don't want hope, bro. You don't, because
you want a draft pick at this point,
right?
Sure.
Just Justin Fields
looking good and losing isn't such a bad thing. I agree with you. It still doesn't feel great. So I agree. My logical brain says it, but I don't know. So we're moving on to the power rankings at number 10, with all the love in the world. The New York Giants still clinging on to the power rankings, and their coaching staff, which I think we're all very high on, still doing quite well to keep them in the mix. I think we're a very long way away from a fucking New York Giants cross off. I think we might have thought we were crossing them off by now at the start of the season. Also, there might be a little bit of a chink in the Eagles' armor. So somebody make me a pitch of the Giants winning this division. It could happen.
I'll give it to you. I mean, I think they can. I think it's a possibility. I mean, they're only 1 game behind the Eagles. We saw Commanders' defense pretty much handle the Eagles' offense. I thought that was one of the best coach games Ron Rivera has coached in a very long time. And looking at the Giants, their offense is not nearly as dynamic as the Eagles. It's a much more game management offense. I think that defense is sneaky underrated. I think the Giants could steal one away from the Eagles and take that division. Absolutely.
You know, it's because the reason they have it's not much of a chance. It's not, but it's because the 2 teams that are surrounding them are so different from who the Giants are. You know, and you have the Cowboys and the Eagles sandwiching these 2 teams, and the Eagles, we saw last night, can make mistakes. Hurts, when he's down, makes mistakes. You know what I mean? They get away from their game plan. They do this and that. The Cowboys, for God's sakes, can they make some goddamn mistakes? Okay, can they fuck up a game real fast? You know what I haven't seen the Giants do so far this year is fuck up a game. It is lose a game that they should have won, that they played good in, that they did all the right things. They haven't done it so far this year. So that's the avenue, is you see the Giants following the same script, and the Eagles and Cowboys kind of veer and do their Eagles and Cowboys shit, and all of a sudden the Giants are fucking 12-5.
Ray, be the voice of reason here. There's no fucking way that the Giants are going to be.
No, it's not going to happen.
That's
the route. That's the route.
They'll make the playoffs, obviously, but I do think that, you know, game 1 set the tone for them this season.
Mm-hmm.
When they went for 2, when everyone was saying go for the field goal, go for the extra point, like that, Brian Daboll said to that locker room, I believe in what we did in training camp. I believe in this roster, whether we're young or not. This is a new day. We're gonna figure this shit out, and that's exactly what has happened. I think that's propelled them onto the season, so that matters. So that's why he's a Coach of the Year candidate, obviously. So yeah, I don't think they win a division, because I think, once again, when you're missing Jordan Davis, the 14th overall pick, that's a big fucking omission on the defense. That dude opens up everything else for Robert Quinn. He opens up things for that team. So when you don't have him on the field, that changes things, regardless of what people were saying. I know everyone was waiting for Philly to lose, for what, and I get that, but no, the Giants are definitely, they're not going to win the division, but they definitely will be in the playoff picture come week 17. And they're it's a heck of a thing that Brian Daboll is doing up there, and he's Rutherford. So I'm sure there's more to come.
26 is healthy.
The best team. I still think they're the best team, or the worst team of the 3. Like they're worse.
Without doubt,
they're worse than the Giants.
On paper, sure. On paper,
they have the best running.
Which is crazy for a 7-2 team. I mean, that says something about that division.
Don't you shame Tony Pollard's name.
I'm not
that.
poking the bear. I'm telling you, 26 is healthy.
I mean, Saquon Barkley,
right.
Saquon's a beast. Back in that division for sure.
For sure. That's not. Yeah.
Is this the most surprising Think back. The most surprising start to a season that maybe we've ever seen, or at least in the last 20 years. I won't say ever. At least in the last 20. Can you remember someone
2017
else starting
Jaguars.
out this hot?
2017 Jaguars.
Yeah, the 2017 Jaguars was more of a surprise. I agree with Ray.
I mean, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Because this team wasn't.
Even last year, Bobby, the Bengals came out of nowhere. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, but would you have put money on the Giants even having more than 6 wins this season?
No, I didn't think they were going to win more than 4. No,
and they're 7-2. 7-2.
Yeah. Once again, game 1 changed everything.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So we're going to talk about the number 9 Titans and how they're still kind of a really weird team with a winning record. I don't. If we're in the starting to get into the phase of the season where we're talking about real contenders to go deep in the playoffs, I don't think that the Titans are that. I don't think that they have the kind of passing game that you need to really compete even in the early rounds of the playoffs against the teams they're going to come up against. But if somebody wants to talk me out of it and explain to me, maybe it's a Vrabel thing, or maybe it's a fucking, we have an unbelievable running back in Derrick Henry thing, the miles are going to start to add up on him. And I could honestly see them finishing under 500 this year. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So as far as contenders go, I wouldn't even say contenders, as far as teams with winning records go, they might be the worst one. And if somebody wants to talk me out of that, that's fine. But I don't know. I don't know if they're worth talking about that much. Just so.
The only thing with Vrabel is I feel like Vrabel is the prime suspect for like, you're having a bad day. We might have a bad day, but guess what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to whoop your ass and we're going to beat you anyways. He takes teams that literally he competed with. I mean, I guess it's less impressive now at this point. Oh no, it was the Chiefs. Anyway, more impressive now. He competed with the Chiefs with goddamn Malik Willis at quarterback. I get us the regular season, and I get that the playoffs are a different animal, but the one thing I could see the Titans doing is surprising someone in that first round. You know, that first who would be like the 4 or 5 seed.
They might play
the
like the Bengals, say.
Yeah, right. I could see it. I'm just saying.
But like if you're the Bengals,
they're not going to the Super Bowl.
But like say we accelerate right now. We take right now, and nothing crazy has happened. We accelerate to the end. And if you're the Bengals and you're like looking at who you might seed against in the playoffs, like when you get in, you want the Titans of all the division winning teams. Like you don't want the Dolphins, you don't want the Chiefs, you don't want the Ravens, you want the fucking Titans. Like,
that's 100% true. Yeah. 100%.
So I just think like for the drunkest NFL start to a season ever, I get that we're at least being molded the perfect booby team for the first round of the playoffs. Like Mike Vrabel could make a career going out in the first round of the fucking playoffs at this point. You know, like I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all, by the way.
Above average. But
I think that the Titans are in a similar situation, maybe not as winning as the Vikings, where it's like, well, we know what's going to happen when the fucking rubber hits the road, right? Like your guy's not the guy. So unless all of a sudden the NFL changes and your running back can be so good that you win a Super Bowl, I just don't see it. I'm just not that excited about it.
I think the biggest thing with Vrabel is he's an above average head coach, but they don't have the roster to compete right now. And they're going to make the playoffs because that division is wretched, but they also haven't beaten anybody, and they probably have the worst strength of schedule down the stretch. I mean, they lost to the Giants.
That's what I'm saying. They could literally finish under 500 potentially and still win that division.
They lost to the Giants and the Bills. They've beaten the Raiders, the Colts, the Commanders, the Colts, the Texans. They lost to the Chiefs, and then they beat the Broncos. The remainder of their schedule is the Packers, which is probably a win because the Packers are in shambles. The Bengals, which is probably a loss. The Eagles, which is probably a loss. The Jaguars win. Chargers loss. Texans win. Cowboys loss. Jaguars win. So, I mean, they're going to be a
they could also lose
11 win team.
Potentially, they could lose.
They could.
So that's like,
but they could be a 10 to 11 win team, and they could be the worst 10 to 11 win team in the league.
Yeah. They were the worst. Well, they were the worst 1 seed we'd ever seen last year.
Sure, absolutely.
So looking at the teams that almost made it, is there anyone? So this seems to be the team, because we all kind of agree the Giants belong in the top 10. The start they've had, the brand of football they play, they belong in the top 10. The Titans seem to be the team that could have been left out here, right?
I would honestly have.
Would you put the Pats, Bengals, Seahawks, or Chargers over them?
I would put the Bucs over them, to be honest with you.
I would put the Seahawks possibly over the Titans and move the Giants to 9. I mean, I think your power rankings are fine the way they are because of how these teams are built. I wouldn't put the Patriots in there. I would absolutely put the Patriots in there, and I think Ray would agree with me. I would go with the Seahawks and then the Bengals and then the Bucs. Dave's right. The Bucs are probably on an upswing, but right now
the Bucs almost made this list. The Bucs were very close to being on this list.
But listen,
very close.
In 2 weeks they'll be on your list. I'll say we'll get into that.
Yeah, I made this call a couple weeks ago on the Power Ranking Show. Bobby didn't believe me. He was like, "What do you think? Like Tom's going to turn the season around?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I think this list is going to look a lot more normal by the time we get to like week 15."
Just a quick aside on that, the man is second in yards.
I don't think it was a surprising. Like, what do you think Tom's going to?
No, right? No, I'm not.
You were like, you were 100% like, I don't know. Like, none of the your whole point was like none of the fucking teams we thought were going to win. I was like, I think this is going to sort itself out though. Like, I think Tom Brady's probably going to like sign the board papers and figure it out. You know?
2,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks.
And he's going to be on that better without you vibe because she already got someone new. So
exactly. And it's about to be a watch this tour starring Thomas Brady. The rest of the year, you said what?
He didn't look like he slowed down to me. To be honest with you, like
there's been some games that he slowed down for sure, but the run is coming. I'm telling you that right now. You can book it. The run is definitely coming. He's about to catch fire. The only thing I would switch to that's what we were talking about. I don't want to get carried away with we're talking about Tom, but I would just switch 9 to 10. I would put the Giants at 9 and then have Tennessee at 10. Once again, I know they beat Denver, but
I could agree with that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would do. Like none of those teams, the other 3 teams were outside of the top 10 for a reason. Once again, Tampa Bay just beat Seattle. Like they just beat them. So I just think to me, those are the outside.
I will also say it takes a lot longer to get to Munich from Seattle than it does from Tampa Bay.
Sure,
it was a little bit of a tougher road game.
Sure. I mean, all right. If anything, the biggest gripe is how the field they played on.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not really equipped for the National Football League. They're in Germany. But all right, whatever. We're trying to go international. We got to move on to the 49ers here. Yeah, I think, what was the stat you were telling me earlier, Bobby? Jimmy Garoppolo is the only QB. What now?
Yeah, so Jimmy Garoppolo in games where he has not thrown a touchdown pass is 10-2. Is 10-2, and that is the most Jimmy Garoppolo stat in
today. He considers himself the luckiest man.
In games where he plays like absolute dog shit, his team wins.
Hey, not throwing a touchdown doesn't mean he's playing like dog shit. I know. He's managing the game, and now he's got CMC, and he doesn't need to throw a touchdown pass. I did just notice, and it just clicked in my head that you put the 49ers 8. And the Seahawks are outside the top 10. And the Seahawks are a half a game better and leading that division.
Power rankings, not power standings.
You're right. We've always preached that. I just looked at it. I agree with you. I think the 49ers are a better team.
And you look at what they added. So I said this last week. CMC being added to Jimmy G is a porno for Jimmy G's style quarterback. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't be better for the fit between Jimmy G and CMC. I mean, I guess it could be better if Jimmy G could, throw the ball. But
I was going to say Jimmy G can turn into literally any other quarterback. That might help.
But no, I just believe in this team, man. With Shanahan, the longevity that he's had there, the way that he uses his running backs, the defensive line, there's just so many things to like there. They haven't played up to their potential. They only scored 22 this week. They almost got taken off because of that win. But I can't ignore CMC, Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell, Kittle, Debo. You can't ignore it all.
Well, I mean, I think if you stripped away the records right now and laid them all out on paper, every team in the NFC West out on paper, I think the one I want on both sides of the ball is the 49ers. Like
100%.
As much as like, Jimmy G, sure. I hope he stays healthy. I hope CMC stays healthy, but you're just naming this cast of characters. It's a fucking absolute plethora of weapons. They don't always play up to their potential, but like, I do think Shanahan's a good coach. And I do think that the Seahawks 6-4 is gettable. It's a little bit of a soft, like division leader record. I think the 49ers win this division. to be honest with you. I think they win it, and I think they're probably going to win it convincingly. I think they're going to win it by like 2.5 games plus, to be honest.
And just remember, guys, when Jimmy G plays a full season, he goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then overthrow
so rarely
someone.
Does both. All right. Well,
I think Gino's coming back to earth. That's the last thing I'll say about the West.
Yeah, of course.
It's inevitable that he's coming back to earth.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I also think you're right about the Cardinals. Like, they're so flawed. I think there's a lot of talent. I think Kyler Murray's talented. I think D-Hop's obviously fucking unbelievable, but they're so flawed. Like,
that's how you know
staff is so bad.
That's how you know there's an issue. When D-Hop's walking off the field, looking at Kyler going, bro, what are you seeing? What do you do?
Yeah,
listen, when DeAndre Hopkins is looking at you, asking you what you're seeing, like, it's time.
Oh, he's 5'1".
He's not.
It doesn't matter. Kyler Murray's a mess. He's not.
You can't blame Kyler Murray for this. Come on.
He doesn't take coaching well. He doesn't receive the coaching well. We heard
you're
about
saying this is great coaching that's just not going in right.
Coaching well.
Like, what the fuck? If you don't do the work, he's in the NFL. We're not talking about a college kid, a high school kid going out and slinging it on Friday nights. We're talking about an NFL quarterback.
We're talking about a young NFL quarterback who's being coached poorly. I mean, it's not fair.
Or is he putting the time in? We don't know.
I think it's both. I said this. I think it's both. I honestly do. I think. Listen, I think Kyler is Kyler, and I don't think you're ever going to change who he is. It's very documented, the correlation between Call of Duty and his play. You know what I mean? Like, that's an actual proven statistic, and that's not a real NFL leading quarterback that you want. Also, Cliff Kingsbury has never had a winning record at any level of coaching he's ever coached at. So, like, this isn't like a
but I mean, like, when you have like, you just said it all right there, though. Like, when you have a kid who, like, might not have his priorities straight, like, part of your job as a head coach is to come in and get his fucking priorities straight and get the best out of him. So, like, just because you might put why he's not performing well lower on a list of prestige for you, like, oh, I'd rather he played shitty because he was, like, sad about the war, or I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so he plays too much fucking Call of Duty. He needs a good fucking head coach to come in and be like, stop fucking playing Call of Duty. We're going to get the best out of you. You can't blame him for that shit. Like, he's still young. He's a kid, for Christ's sake. He's probably nasty at Call of Duty.
Yes, you can. Yeah, I mean, you can blame him.
Really good at Call of Duty.
No. But that's the thing is, like, you can absolutely blame it. You can't.
I mean, you can, but
you can't put it on the coach. It's not his father. They're employees. The dude's getting paid millions of dollars.
So you're saying if a guy owned a company, right? A guy owns a company. He's never had a successful company ever. He's literally never had a successful company his entire life. You're gonna walk in and be like, I don't know, man. That assistant manager over there, I think he's the fucking problem. Like, he's the one hemorrhaging money.
But who's to say they're not both the problem? But you can't say that
because you can point to a long and storied history of Cliff Kingsbury fucking sucking. Kyler Murray plays well when he's put in good environments. Like, I'm like, look at the resumes, man.
Sure, but what
you're gonna write off Kyler Murray? You're gonna write him off now? Just say it on the air. Put it on audio, Bobby. Call of Duty, write off fucking Kyler Murray. You don't think that a good head coach can come in and get fucking a ton out of Kyler Murray? You haven't seen him play well?
I do.
Like, that's crazy,
but he also should be self-motivated to get off his ass and go put in the extra work.
No, man. It's a little get off my lawn, if you ask me.
I think Cliff Kingsbury is demotivating. If I'm being honest,
without a doubt.
I feel that's where it is at this point. Where Kyler looks at Cliff. You saw it in that Thursday night game. He looks at Cliff, goes, "This motherfucker doesn't know shit. He doesn't know that." And I just feel like Kyler's, like, done. He's done with Kingsbury, man. And I agree. Kyler does have.
I watched Aaron Rodgers do this shit with head coaches, and it's never fucking Aaron Rodgers' fault. So I don't understand why we're doing this.
Because Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback.
He's won one Super Bowl. He's
he's won 2 MVP.
But he's also bitched and moaned his way out of situations multiple times, and you don't keep that same energy with him. You don't. So it's like,
because Kyler Murray's not an elite quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm pretty sure he's elite on talent.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, you should watch him play more. He's fucking sick.
Well, I'm not on the West Coast.
Listen, no,
I'm pretty sure satellites broadcast everywhere. It's accessible.
He is. Listen, Kyler's sick, but at the same time, he does the stupidest shit I've ever seen a quarterback do at times. It's really.
He needs a good coach.
Listen, you both.
It's the most obvious, like, this kid needs a good coach situation I've ever seen.
But until he has that good coach and shows that he's elite, I'm going to have different energy with Aaron Rodgers, who's won an MVP and won a Super Bowl, and not have that energy with the little munchkin in Arizona, who hasn't shown that he's elite. He has not shown that he's elite. And
he's
maybe that's the
really
coaching.
He's
You're
really
not
short.
Dave.
That's good.
Dave, I had this
good.
energy with Tannehill. Tannehill went to Tennessee and completely changed his game, completely rejuvenated his career. So yeah, absolutely. Kyler needs a better coach. But until he gets that, which he doesn't have right now, he's not.
But I just think to level this criticism of like, you're like, you take a young quarterback who's clearly being wasted in a system nobody could win in under a coach that nobody has won with, and you're putting all the blame on him when it's like, he's never, like, you can't criticize a guy that's never wasted an opportunity. Like, it's not as if he's pissing away this great fucking system that he's been put into. He's clearly just in a shitty fucking situation, and he's still winning games from them from time to time because he's like literally sick. So like, and like, I'm so mad at this dude for wasting the talent that he has on the field, and I think it's just boggling my mind that you guys are like, oh, this young kid acting like a young kid, he sucks. Fuck him. Put this like grown ass man who's like also getting paid a shitload of money, whose job it is to give the kid the ability to succeed. Look, if you get the ability to succeed and you fucking piss it away, that's fine. But like, clip fucking Kingsbury, man. Give me a break.
Great, but like, we haven't seen it. So you're right. I mean, I don't.
We have seen this.
I don't disagree with that point. Yeah,
I don't disagree with you on Kingsbury. I do disagree with you on Kyler.
That doesn't mean Kyler has really shit body language at most of the time. Awful. But
I get it, guys. But like,
it's a product of your environment. So I just think I think both sides lose, and until we.
I just think it would be a wild thing to.
The Cardinals aren't even on this list.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's an interesting conversation regardless. I just think it'd be a wild thing to be on record writing off fucking Kyler Murray because he plays too much Call of Duty. Like at this point in his career,
nobody's writing him off, but. You can't.
It kind of seems like you are. It sort of seems like you are. It seems like
Aaron Rodgers didn't walk in and have that energy with Mike McCarthy the moment he took over the starting job.
Aaron Rodgers has been fucking terrible with like every coach he's ever had.
I understand. I understand. That's his energy, but he wasn't that way immediately when he got the starting job. Kyler Murray's been that way since he came in.
Yeah, but you gotta like just put someone in a situation to go motivate him. Like, he's talented. Like, there's a dereliction of duty going on here. Kyler Murray goes out and plays fucking quarterback every week. That's what he's supposed to do. Like, it's all fucking dumb speculation where it's like, oh, he played too much Call of Duty. Oh, we put this thing in his like contract to watch more tape. Like, it's fucking stupid. Quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I think the reason why he's getting this fucking criticism leveled at this specific criticism leveled at him in the national media, because it's not just you guys. It's because of the style of quarterback that he is. He's young, he's black, he's fast. I just think, like, if he looked like an All-American and played like an All-American, he would be getting a lot more fucking leash. That's all I'm saying. And I think there's an obvious fucking person whose fault this is, and it's like the grown fucking adult who's supposed to be like forming a fucking real game plan that someone could win it. That's all I'm saying. Because, like, I think Aaron Rodgers got more leash on it because he looks like Aaron Rodgers. That's
Kyler Murray was an All-American. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like looking like an All-American, if you know what I mean, you got to read between the lines there, Joe.
Oh, because he's not tall and white? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not tall and white. You think that doesn't affect people's perceptions of things? What the fuck? What did you just get here?
You did just call us national media. I just want to say that. You compared us to national media, and I really
said it wasn't just you guys, but quite frankly, yeah, it might be informing your perception on the kid. It might. Just saying. Might be something to look at.
Not mine.
I mean, I don't think anyone would admit to it.
That's too much on the Cardinals. That's too much on the Cardinals.
I don't think anyone's going to admit to it, but I just think it does. It does inform perceptions a little bit. All right, moving on. Speaking of awesome black quarterbacks, we're on to fucking Lamar Jackson. Whoa, he's doing great. But people are fucking quick to blame him for the losses that were definitely not his fault at the start of the season. So how's everybody feeling about the Baltimore Ravens?
They're outstanding.
I'm feeling really good about them. I genuinely think I'm going to declare them my dark horse team. I think that they have the best chance of winning a Super Bowl of the non-traditional teams that we're talking about. The Eagles, the Chargers, Jesus Christ, if only. The Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Bills. I think they might be a little bit of a sleeper. Anybody want to talk me out of the Ravens? Are they inherently flawed? Because like Lamar Jackson's a beast.
I'll talk you into them, but I think calling them a dark horse is a really weird turn of phrase with what we just talked about. The Ravens are a very good football team.
For sure.
They have the best kicker of all time. They have a top 3 tight end if he can get healthy and get on the field. They have a top 10 quarterback in the league. I truly believe that he is a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think Harbaugh might be a little bit over the hill. I'm not totally positive yet.
He does coach like an old guy. He coaches like an old
guy. And they have a very good defense. Patrick Queen is absolutely incredible. I just think they have a really good football team. I think they're underperforming.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I think they're underperforming, and I think they're going to hit their stride. Kind of like you think with the Bucs. I think these guys are going to hit their stride coming up here pretty quick.
Well, definitely win that division, right? Anyone disagree?
Oh yeah, they'll win that division.
The upcoming schedule. So that you're 100% right. They're about to hit their stride because their next 6 games are the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Broncos, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Falcons. So the Ravens are literally going to win every single one of those games. They should, at least. They're going to be favored. They're going to be favored in each of those games. Listen, Lamar's the most dynamic player outside of Justin Fields the last few weeks in the NFL. And there's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that style of play can advance into the playoffs, but I can tell you one thing. If there's one guy I have faith in taking that style of play to the Super Bowl, it's goddamn Lamar Jackson. Because he doesn't just do it with the legs. He does it with his arm. He does it
I think his arm looks great this year.
With every aspect.
He's figured out a lot of the stuff that people were criticizing him for. And I think if you're really laying that same energy on him this season, I think you're just being a fucking hater. And Ray, you were one of the first to say this at the start of the season. So you, as much as you had to admit that Russ didn't do as good as you thought, you should get a victory lap on Lamar this year because he's throwing the ball like he said he was gonna.
Yeah, I mean it's long overdue. I mean, obviously it's shades of the MVP season that he had back in 2019. He's a special talent, and he's special on the ground. He's now special on the air. So I mean in the air, I should say. Excuse me. So yeah, they're playing typical Ravens football. Run the ball well. Obviously now they have more of a passing game. I think they get Mark Andrews back this week, if I'm not mistaken. So, that just adds another dynamic to the offense, as Joe alluded to. So,
but he did good even with the injuries. Like I feel like Lamar made he stepped up.
Likely look good, man.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, and Andrews is a security blanket. He's the guy. He's the modern day Todd Heap for them. That's the name drop for those that don't remember Todd Heap.
Everybody remembers Todd Heap.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, but yeah, I just think that he has a different dimension to that offense. So
who is the other Baltimore tight end? It was Dennis Pitta. Dennis
Pitta. Yeah, that's the one they ended up winning with now. Yeah, it's so much that Suggs was like, oh, Pitta for president. So yeah, he was a fan favorite down there. But yeah, so yeah, I think, like I said, I do think they are a sleeper team to win the Super Bowl and go and at the least, go far in the AFC playoff picture.
I think one underrated thing about this team right now is Roquan Smith. As you know him very well, DK. That addition to that defense was just it was next level. You saw in that first game how much better that D looked. So he's such a big addition. They needed
somebody who could go make plays, and they needed someone who could go make plays at the right time. And I think he always was that guy, and he'll continue to be that guy. I made the point to you last week, Bobby, that like if you go from Chicago to Baltimore, like you're not leaving like a very different defensive DNA
culture,
culture to go to this place. And I think they're thrilled to have him. I think he's perfect there. And honestly, I'm happy for him. And I just really like watching them play. I really like watching the Ravens. I think they're my favorite team in the AFC to watch play this year, other than probably the Chiefs, but that's a boring answer, but they are so fun to watch still. So yeah, I mean, I like the Ravens. I like to see a team in the NFC North in the Super Bowl, at least again, this next coming Super Bowl. But I guess we'll see. I'm glad we're all in agreement on Lamar Jackson though. And nobody's going like, no, he sucks. It's like at this point, he just fucking factually doesn't. So I'm glad we're there.
We don't have a Skip Bayless.
Yeah, right. Just to die on any hill forever. Bobby, tough fucking loss against the goddamn Packers of all fucking teams, man. You should have hosed them. What happened?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. A few different things happened. A, we can't stop the run. That's been the crux of our great defense the last 2 years. Is like certain.
Well, you
teams,
have guys that should be able to make plays on the run though, so it's
confusing. Yeah, it's I don't know what it is. I feel like it's the aggressiveness of the Dan Quinn style, where we get so caught up going one way that zone run scheme just gets us going the complete wrong way. We're fucked. I don't know what happened, and that loss stunk. I gotta say that was a stinky
I was really
loss.
Surprised.
That was a stinky. So we were up 28-14, and the the Christian Watson over the top on Anthony Brown was just inexcusable. And then after
he's fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
Anthony Brown is awful. He's
awful.
I've been calling for Anthony Brown's head for like 2 years now.
But
then the offense got lazy, and CD ran bad routes. People can blame Dak all they want. It wasn't Dak's fault. CD ran a bad route. Schultz ran a bad route, and that's why there was that terrible interception. As soon as it was 28-21 and the Packers got the ball back, I knew what the fuck was about to happen. I'm not stupid. I've seen this script so many times. Aaron Rodgers is 8-2 against the Dallas Cowboys, and we had this guy in the ropes, and we had a chance to prove that this was a different year, that this was a different squad, that this isn't the team that's going to make those mistakes when it comes down to it. And they did. They did the same shit that they did last year.
It hasn't come down to it yet.
No. I know, but like that's a big game, and that's a big loss right there. And for them to choke like that, and for the ending right with McCarthy not kicking that field goal, I get it. I know the whatever the fuck your analytics, all that shit. All right, you literally just proved exactly what everyone was saying about you. Well, your only flaw to the rest of the country, and that's the game management of this team, and that's the fact. When the momentum for the Dallas Cowboys takes 2 steps back, they can never fix it and take 5 steps forward, ever. And it just seems like anytime it's 2 steps back, it's 6 steps back, 8 steps back, 10 steps back, and all of a sudden we're sitting here and I'm watching Mason Crosby kick another goddamn game winning field goal.
Comes down to Dak a little bit for me, though, to be honest with you. Like, I think it should be on him a little bit to pull him out of the fire when he's in those situations. I think he's got the running game to do it, to take a little pressure off him throughout the game. And threw a really inconveniently timed interception in that game, and he loves to throw an interception at the worst possible time. Like, we did agree at the start of the season that this is like Dak's do or die year, and I'm just still not convinced. Ray, what do you think?
By it being Dak's do or die year?
I mean, is it his fault? Am I jumping to blame Dak Prescott, or is it just the Cowboys being the Cowboys?
It's a little bit of both. Honestly, I think that they do this to themselves on a consistent basis, unfortunately. And once again, it's not personal to you, Bobby. This is about my family that's down there in Dallas. I love it. Like, I love it.
Thanks, bro.
Like, I just love to say it because my dad talks shit about it to me. My older brother down there talks shit about it to me. My uncles is down there, and it's like, hey guys, it's okay. The youngest guy of the clan is here for more support. But oh fucking well, this is 25 years of counting. I had 2 good legs the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and now I don't, and they're still not going to win it. But I just had to say that. But to answer your question, Dave, I do think that it is a mix of both, like I said, between just how the Cowboys are, and then like I said, hey, when you're paying Dak the money you're paying him, at some point now, this is year 6, year 7 for him. Like, you have to be able to get your team in position to win that game. And once again, you're up 24. No, not
28-14.
You're up 28-14. So, yep, telling me at that you can't get another field goal to be up 14, because that changes everything in that moment. Now, forget about getting into the overtime. I'm saying, like, just even before that, like, finding a way just to even get down the field. He has a command of the offense by now to run something different if he needed to. So, yeah, I do think some blame needs to be on him. But also, yeah, Mike McCarthy, once again, you have shown who you are time and time again. And to quote the great Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
So that's just what it is. He's not the guy that should be leading any NFL team. 2010, long time ago.
Can I just tell you why I really don't think that this is Dak's fault? And regardless of what you say, I'm going to. So
it's hard to win under Mike McCarthy. I mean,
right?
The Mike McCarthy, yes, and B the rest of the coaching staff besides Dan Quinn, I don't know what the hell is going on. The Cowboys were averaging, I think it was over 6 yards a carry against the Packers on Sunday. And Dak Prescott threw the ball 46 times and threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. What the hell are you putting your quarterback in a position to throw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter for when you're averaging over 6 yards a carry with a 14-point lead?
You think that's from Jerry, though?
I think
that's Kellen Moore.
This comes from Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore gets pass happy when it comes to Dak. He loves to show that he has a dynamic offense. Bro,
hello.
He just, if Cooper Rush was in this game, and this is nothing against Cooper Rush versus Dak Prescott, the ability level, anything like that. If Cooper Rush was quarterbacking this team and we were up 28-14 in the fourth quarter, I guarantee you he would not have 46 pass attempts by the time this goddamn game ended. He wouldn't.
He wouldn't have had 2 interceptions either, and they would. Right, I'd see what you're getting at.
It's just call the game like it should be called, not for I think we can make this. No, if the game situation calls for a goddamn handoff to Tony Pollard so we can run 8-9 yards, give him the goddamn ball. Especially in a situation where it's just the plays that get called make no sense for the situation that the game was, and it just blows my mind sometimes.
It sounds like you don't
can't get over it.
It sounds like you're not defending Dak, but blaming Kellen Moore, and I couldn't agree more with you. Watching that team, they have 2 of the now. I think Dak and Zeke, based on the contracts compared to ability, I personally do think they're overrated. I do think they're
Zeke definitely.
I do think they're very good at what they do, but when you
Zeke's
have Zeke, when you have Zeke Elliott and Pollard in your backfield, I mean, you got to be using that backfield. You have to be using that backfield. Dak is a very good quarterback, but you're right. I mean, it doesn't matter if your quarterback is Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Joe Montana. You run the football in that situation.
Can I ask you something else too? Is like on a 3rd and 4 situation, like in overtime, what is the rest of the NFL throwing into their scheme? Right, the fact that their quarterback can run the ball, and that makes their offense so much more successful. Dak Prescott is not a slow guy. Dak Prescott can move, but yet they don't even attempt any kind of RPO or anything like that with it. There's just so many different wrinkles that this team could have that they don't.
The confidence I have in 3rd and less than 5 in the Bears right now because of how Justin Fields
100%.
Like, I'm so sure that they're going to get it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm 100%. So sure because it's like, just put it in his hands and he'll make it work. Like RPO, like you said, or he'll just design run or whatever. It's tough to be a Cowboys fan. It's still tough to be a Cowboys fan.
At the same time, we're still a top 6 team.
Yeah,
right? 100% we are.
Hey, listen, Bobby, you're in it until you're not, right?
Yeah.
Joe,
was that hurt?
Are the Dolphins going to win the AFC East?
I think they could. I really, 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 really like their head coach. I think this guy is something else. The way he talks to his players, the way he handles the media, the way he calls a game, he lets his coaches do what they need to do. He has a stacked roster, which I have my opinions on the owner. I think we all do have our opinions on Stephen Ross. But the general manager and the head coach down there, Mike McDaniel, they're doing an incredible job. And with that talent and the way Tua looks down there, yeah, I think they can be. I still think the Bills are a wagon, but
look a little flawed though.
They look flawed. They definitely look flawed. You know what's nice though, and we'll get to the Bills, but what's nice is to see Devin Singletary actually running the football.
I bet that is nice for you because I traded him to you like 5
weeks ago. That too. But actually producing on the football field is nice to see. I think the Dolphins are the real deal. I think their defense is ridiculous. I think their offense is. I don't know if they have the equation to go and win the Super Bowl this year, but they're definitely working towards that as long as they don't screw it up in typical Dolphins fashion at some point down the road.
Bobby, feels like a different Dolphins franchise over there, huh?
Sure does. I completely agree with Joe that Mike McDaniel is maybe the coolest and funniest head coach I've ever seen in the NFL.
The dorkiness too, though.
That whole stop it thing was so goddamn funny, man. With Fields, and he was like, and it was really irritating because like he didn't stop, and I just thought like as a young guy he'd want to take the coaching from an elite NFL head coach. I just couldn't believe that he didn't stop. It's hilarious. It really does feel like he's one of us, though, doesn't it? Like he was talking to one of his coaches, and he was like, "Bro."
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of the era.
Just fix it, bro.
It is sort of the era of seeing like our generation start to get into the upper echelons of things. In your mid to late 30s, then in your 40s, we're going to start to see I mean, we might control Congress soon if like one of those 97-year-olds croaks. So that's something. But just one.
Just one.
But yes, this is a different squad, man. I mean, Waddle and Tyreek Hill are the fastest wide receivers I've literally ever seen on the field together. Tyreek Hill's on pace to break the all-time receiving record over Calvin Johnson. And Tua somehow is a top 3 MVP candidate because that's what the 2022 NFL season is. That's just where we are.
Well, they have
in the East.
Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
Are the Dolphins winning the East, Ray?
I don't think they will. I still think Buffalo has a chance to make that happen. Or not have a chance, but I think they will make it happen once those guys, everyone's healthy, mainly Josh Allen. Bobby, forgive me again, but the Dolphins are the Cowboys of the AFC. What can go wrong has to go on. And honestly, fuck them. Like I say, you guys know my stance. We've done shows on it. DK, I'm not wishing anything. And once again, and it's because I like Mike McDaniel, so I think he's been great. And I just hate what happened to the previous coach. So I'm still in between it. I'm not moving up that stance until he gets another head coaching job. So that's just where I'm at. But yes, on paper, yeah, they are phenomenal. For those that's listening, that's what keeping the same energy looks like. But once again, they're supremely talented. I think they're gonna do. They may win a playoff game, but once again, even between me living down there, I know we know the history of Miami as well. What can go wrong with them will go wrong at some point, and whether it's at the end of this regular season, whether it's in the wild card game or whatever, or depending on how they do in the division, they'll be going home early.
Scathing. That's why I saved the best for last on that one. I knew Ray would fucking light up the Dolphins. I love it. All right, so here's what we usually do with the kind of top 4 teams. It's changed now. Last week, the 4th team that isn't typically in this running was the Cowboys. That run was short fucking lived. But we do have
2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks.
It was 1. So we had we have 2 NFC teams in the top 4. And we have 2 AFC teams. So I'm going to go around. And I find the best way to find how much faith you really have in each of these teams. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, Joe, I'll start with you. The Bills and the Chiefs play each other right now in the AFC Championship game. Who are you sitting in the Super Bowl?
Kansas City Chiefs.
I agree wholeheartedly.
They still have? Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, we'll do the elaboration, but we'll collect the data first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Ray?
Chiefs.
All right. So, I mean, Joe, go ahead. You're about to start elaborating. Is it essentially because the Bills have dropped off, or are the Chiefs still just the Chiefs, and we were all trying to make it not the case?
I think the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I think the Bills are the little brother right now that want to be the Chiefs. You said it the other day, Dave. I don't know how you could say the Bills would lose or the Bills would beat the Chiefs right now in a one-off playoff game. And I at first I was like, well, I could tell you, but then I stopped and thought about it, and it was like, you know what, that Bills team does have some holes. I think Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL right now. Plain and simple, he's the best coach in the NFL. He has without Tyreek Hill, he has kept up the same energy with that team. He's got the best tight end in the game. He's got probably the best quarterback in the game. He's got some pretty good young running backs in the backfield. I know Juju went out with a head injury this weekend, but he's even looked good, and I didn't think he would out there. So, and they got Harrison Butker, probably the second best kicker in the league. So all the way around, I like this Chiefs team and what they've done.
Yeah. I'm glad I stayed on side with these fuckers, because you can't. I mean, the thing what happens with teams like the Chiefs is they're so good for so long, people get bored. And then you want another team to be better. You want the Eagles to be the number 1 overall team in the NFL, but you know in your heart of hearts, Bob, that the Chiefs are still the team to beat. And it just goes to show, because they're the team where now officially, you've gone back and forth, other people have gone back and forth on who they're going to send out of those 2 teams from the AFC to the Super Bowl when we do this little game. But now we're in unanimous decision mode, because the Bills got figured out by the Vikings, who are on the other side of this twosome in the NFL and in the NFC. And I think let's go around real quick and do them before we start to elaborate. So, Ray, you have the Eagles and you have the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. Who are you sending to the Super Bowl? Who are you putting your hard-earned money on?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Finally, someone believes in the Eagles once you put the Vikings in. Bob, Philly or Minnesota? Who's going?
What time is the game?
It's the championship, bro. It's the only game on.
That is a legitimate question. What?
The
Eagle. I'm going with Eagles.
So finally, somebody believes in the Eagles. That's 2. I'm sending the Eagles also. Joe, you sending the Eagles out of those 2?
Minnesota.
Whoa! All right. Okay. Well, we'll start with Joe then. Explain to me why the Minnesota Vikings are. I guess explain to me how Kirk Cousins wins this game in prime time.
I'm buying in on Kirk Cousins right now. And
someone tell his wife to get him away from the mortgage because that's too much.
Hey, listen, you've mentioned it many times that I put a lot into coaching. I don't think Kevin O'Connell or Nick Sirianni, either one of them, are very good coaches. But I've seen more resiliency and adversity on the Viking side of things, where the Eagles have kind of been cruising. But the Vikings have been able to figure out some of that adversity and been able to Kirk Cousins, say what you want about him, mediocre quarterback. He's also found ways to get it done. The offense has been very good. I mean, they have Justin Jefferson.
Fucking better be, dude. Do you see that? Do you see the weapons they have? Jesus.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins should be breaking touchdown records right now.
So AJ Osborne, they have Dalvin Cook in the backfield. It's a good football team. And that defensive front 7 against the Eagles could be very good because the Eagles' run game, besides Hurts, isn't great. I mean, Miles Sanders isn't all that good. Boston Scott is a third-string running back. I don't know. I could see the Vikings going in. At this point in time, the Eagles would host that game. I could see the Vikings going into Lincoln Financial and beating the Eagles off.
So, hearing you talk, I feel like the Vikings really have been through more this season. And if you're going to line up the 2 schedules, right? I might be flipping my pick here. If you're lining up the 2 schedules, right? The wins that the Vikings have, even just against the Bills, right? We won't count any of it. Even just against the Bills is 10 times more than any win that the Eagles have had. The Eagles' 2 most impressive wins so far this year are beating Cooper Rush and the Cowboys and beating Kirk Cousins in primetime, right? Those are the 2 most impressive. And I feel like Cousins has evolved a little bit since then. And that win against the Bills was so awesome, man.
The strength of schedule matters now to you, Bobby, huh?
No, it does.
I've only been banging this fucking drum for
it does when I'm
feels like
arguing
an eternity.
against the Eagles. Yeah,
I've been saying this about the Eagles for weeks, and you keep fucking dismissing me. I've been saying that the Chiefs should be fucking number 1 in the power rankings for weeks.
I didn't want to put them number 1, bro.
And now you're pulling this fucking card out of your back pocket?
No.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
So can I?
You do live in Los Angeles. It's mandatory out there, isn't it?
Bobby's like, something we should be thinking about is the strength
schedule.
Philadelphia Eagles. Is this gaslighting? Are you gaslighting me right now?
Bit, yeah. I was. Can I just talk about can we rewind? That version of Josh Allen that we saw this past week and that we've seen in a couple games so far this year was the version of Josh Allen that we saw throw a lateral behind his head 3 years ago. You know what I mean? This isn't the Josh Allen that we were used to the past 2 years ago.
He's definitely playing hard.
But anyway, what I think the conclusion we've all come to, and Ray, I'll have you tee us off on this. Sorry. Whoever comes out of the NFC, as of right now, in this fun hypothetical we do where we send everybody to the championship game, then to the Super Bowl, whoever comes out of the NFC is getting waxed by the Chiefs, right? Like, that's just the situation we're in.
Yes. And I think, especially if it's Philly in a...
I mean, having the first half there, not going to lie.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned, right? No, I do think, especially if it's Philly, like if it's the Andy Reid Bowl, I think that
that would be fun, actually.
I think he's going to put something serious on them that we have not seen.
I would love to see that
before, because for all the times, you made it to 5 straight NFC Championship game. You couldn't do much here. You had McNabb, you had James Thrash, you had Todd Pinkston, you had
Thrash, Smith, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had Westbrook,
Jason Avant.
Jason Avant. You had an older Dorsey Levens. That one was for Joe there. You had all these guys.
That's a good drop.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was just for you, big fella. But yeah, it's like you had all these guys here. It couldn't get it done. And for the first 4 or 5 years of his career in Kansas City, they were the Eagles of the AFC. because they had a lot of guys through there. Obviously Dwayne Bowe and Jamal Charles and, Niles Davis. Like, they had a lot of guys come through there, and they just couldn't get over the hump, mainly because that team in Foxborough was still beating them when they faced them in the playoffs. But, yeah, now they have the guy. And, Andy Reid's no longer a guy. He is the guy at the head coaching position. And, yeah, they're going to smack whoever.
Yeah.
Well, I think as much as many things change on this Power Ranking show every week, one thing remains the same, and that's that nobody believes in the Philadelphia Eagles. It's become the unofficial tagline of this show, and it's finally been proven right. I don't want to overreact to them losing one game, by the way. I don't think that's what we're saying here. I think what we're saying is the Eagles are who we thought they were. And I'll leave that on everybody's minds as we take you into next week. Join us next week on the Power Rankings, where we'll go in depth on the 7 new teams that are going to be in it from this week, and we declare the Kansas City Chiefs the Super Bowl winners. And thank you so much for listening. For myself, DK Sizzle, Broadway Joe Malkin, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, the real BK Bob Kelly. This has been Missing the Point.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me? Let's go, get in.
Vamos, rápido.
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast. Electrocast.